How's it going, YouTube? This is Trainer JI, and today we have part 2 of PSA Return, I believe 7. So, yeah, typically the way I do this is I do 100 card subs, I get them back, and then we have 50 and 50, just because, I think I did the last half, and it took close to like 30 minutes, and nobody's trying to sit here for an hour. I'm not trying to sit here for an hour, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, 50 cards here, old back sub. Did well overall. First half was really good. I don't really know what order any of this stuff is, so I don't know like if this half's better or worse or what. But yeah, I guess we'll jump in and see. First up, Neo 4, Dark Typhlosion, PSA 9. Fantastic artwork. Love the deep red color in this one. Who did this? Oh, this is just an Narita. Yeah, I think this looks fantastic. Very vibrant red. Next up, we have Scyther, Neo 4, Destiny, PSA 10. Kind of wild, but I think Pop on this is... I graded 2 Scythers in this one from Neo in 10. I think Pop is like sub 15 on both of them, which is wild to me. I know it's just like a, uncommon, but I would have to assume the English one is much higher in both Unlimited and First Edition. But I don't know, I could be wrong on that. But really nice card. Next up, we have Jungle Clefable, PSA 8. And I said it in the first half of this one. Did pretty well overall in this. Lower grades don't bother me too much in this old back stuff, just because they're so tough to grade. But yeah, overall did pretty well in the sub, and not really upset about any grade, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll shoot myself in the foot later going through this when I see something, but as of now, pretty happy with this overall. But yeah, we have PSA 8 Clefable here from Jungle. Fantastic holo. Kind of feel like Clefable looks very odd in this one. There's definitely certain Pokemon that early on in the TCG, they have a different look, like slash vibe to them than what they do current day. Clefable being one of them. Next up, we have Lucky Stadium. This is Tohaku. I said it in the last half because I graded a Lucky Stadium as well. I'll just do a quick recap in this. There's like 7 or 8 of these, including the Tropical Mega Battle Lucky Stadium, which is extremely expensive, obviously. And all of them were given out in different regions. This one, again, is Tohaku, and they all have their own unique artwork. I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe this is like something from Tohaku, like from that area. I could be wrong, but this one's featuring Diglett. He's just popping out, hanging out there. And it's funny, they didn't make him come up in the middle or anything. Just there he is. You know what I mean? Kind of weird. This is actually one of my favorite cards. I would say top 100 all time, which I know that might sound like oh, just top 100, but there's so many cards out there, and there's so many cards that I like that top 100 is a pretty big deal still. And I do have one of these in a PSA 10 in my collection. But fantastic artwork. We have Light Arcanine from Neo 4 Destiny. Beautiful, like, flowers in the background. Or I don't know if they're lotuses or they, like... I don't know if it's a lotus or a lily pad or what it is. I can't tell. But nice swirl on this one. Fantastic artwork from Nishida. Great card. Next up, we have Machamp from base set, PSA 9. I always get like a really cheap vibe, if that makes any sense, when I see this, just because Machamp came in the starter decks and everybody had a Machamp when we were kids, like from base. So I don't know, I just get like a weird vibe. I mean, obviously it wasn't like that in Japanese, but when you see somebody like, oh yeah, I have a first edition Machamp still sealed in the pack, and it's like, yeah, buddy, like you and a million other people. Next up, definitely an odd card here. We have Hamachan's Slow King. This is a Corocoro comic promo. I'll do a little zoom in. Masatoshi Hamada did this. And yeah, like the stamp. Weird, like, little, like, duck lip thing there. And then a very, very, very unique artwork of Slow King here. Definitely a cool card. Definitely a nice card. But I think these are like fairly tough to grade overall. I could be wrong on that, but most of the stuff from this era is tough to grade, especially the Corocoro stuff. Next up, we have another beautiful one here. We have Dragonite, the Game Boy promo. This one got a 7. To be honest, I probably sent this in on a wing and a prayer type deal. I think it's a clean card, and probably just has like some minor little blemish somewhere that between that and the centering gave it the 7. But yeah, this is going to be a great collection card for somebody. It's going to be a super clean copy, just low grade and low price, which is fine. Doesn't always have to be a 10 to fit in your collection. Next up, we have another Corocoro Comics promo here. We have Unknown R, glossy promo. Got the 9 on this one. I don't know what happened here. Looks like a pretty clean copy overall, but there's probably a little bit of whitening or something. Just one little thing. That's all it takes on these. It just stands out so much. Like one little scratch, one little thing, and then it's no longer a 10. Next up, one of my favorite Natawake promos, might possibly be my favorite Natawake promo, is the Mankey from Volume 1. I don't know what it is about this one, but I don't know. I just think it looks super cool. He's just going to, I would assume, steal the apples because he's sweating. His friends are scared. They're worried, but they're like, man, get me those apples. And yeah, I would say this is the best Mankey card ever made. And, well, even if it's not, it's my favorite Mankey. And I have a 10 of this in my collection that I actually graded, which is kind of cool. At that point, when I graded it, I think it was sub 10 in a PSA 10. Obviously, that's gone up now, but definitely not much higher than probably like 20. But super awesome card. We have Unknown A from Neo 2, PSA 9. I'm not a big Unknown fan. I like this one just because it's hollow. I like the lore. I like the whole thing, you know, that went down in the games. But I wouldn't sit here and say I'm like some big Unknown fan. And I don't know if too many people are. I mean, maybe you are, but I'm not. Next up, Jungle Scyther, PSA 9. Whenever I think of jungle, for whatever reason, Scyther is definitely the Pokemon that comes to mind for me. That or Pinsir. I don't know if it's like kind of like Safari Zone vibes or what, but yeah, nice card, nice 9. We have Jigglypuff, the singing Jigglypuff, non-glossy promo. I think, yeah, this is 96. I think the 96 is this is like one of the first ever Pokemon Japanese promos, like ever. If it's not I think 96 is, and I think the glossy, maybe the glossy was the same year in 96. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long, but either way, this artwork, either the glossy or non-glossy, can't remember which one, is the first ever Japanese promo, which is kind of cool. Not a huge fan of this. Don't think it looks too great in my personal opinion, but, yeah, I mean, a lot of nostalgia here. I mean, 96. It's kind of crazy. And it's still graded a 9. We have Dark Houndoom, Neo 4, Destiny. Fantastic card. I really like Houndoom, and I think this one looks really nice. Interesting, though, that the other two from Neo are Dark type, and they're Dark type, like Houndoom should be, but this one is a Dark Houndoom, but it's a Fire type. I think that's kind of interesting. I'm thinking of it. I don't know if there is any Dark type that are actually Dark type. And maybe that was something back in the day they did to avoid having to change the writing or something. I don't know, but yeah, still maybe an odd little tangent there for some people, but I don't know, kind of just thought of that. This one's an interesting one. We'll do a little zoom in. We have Rocket Grimer, and most people are like, oh, it's just a common Grimer from Team Rocket. Well, this Grimer, he's a little pervy. He's looking up this chick's skirt, and I believe somewhere I read that somebody asked Himeno if those were her intentions when she did this, but obviously she said absolutely not. I would assume I believe that. I mean, it just probably was a coincidence that, hey, like, that's what's going on here. But it is funny that it's like a Grimer, like grimy Pokemon doing something sleazy like that. But this is technically a banned artwork, and it's only available in Japanese. In English, they corrected it where they just basically erased the eyes, shifted them to the left, and that took care of that. That's pretty much how that worked. But that was too rated R for American audience, apparently. Next up, we have Typhlosion. This is the premium file, not the Neo 1. Best way to figure that out is, hey, no rarity symbol there. But yeah, PSA 10 on this one. Nice card here. Pop's pretty high on these. I mean, these were getting sold on, what was it, like some like basically like television sales program back in the day is like super rare, like back when this stuff was released. I think they said, if you're familiar with Gary, I think it's Gary. Yeah, Gary from Gary King Pokemon Gary, that guy. I think he was the one sending them in, at least allegedly, that's what I've heard. He was sending them into, is it QVC, I think is the one? Yeah, I think it's QVC, and they were being sold on there, and the guys are all, the people that had no idea were like hyping them as up as super rare, and I think they sold a bunch of them back then. They were graded too, which is like, I mean, it was just like a first for everything kind of there. We have Nidoqueen, Jungle, PSA 9. Nice sparkle, nice hollow, nice little swirly on this one. I like this Nidoqueen just because like Nidoqueen has like more of a shiny vibe to it than normal. Like I think Nidoqueen, the way they portray it now, is more like purple, where this is like more of a teal look. And I will say that there's a lot of variance in printing from the old back stuff. You'll definitely see, if you would go through a stack of these and you would do scans, which is something I do, like on some of my listings. I mean, I'm not asking you to buy anything, but if you want to see what I'm talking about, just go to one of my old back listings on my eBay, which should be in the description, and look for one that has a lot of copies of something, and just scroll through each picture of each copy, and you'll see like a crazy variance when you're really going through them all, where like you have lighter printing, darker printing. Obviously centering's a thing, but like just the coloring, the way like it actually makes the card look on some printings compared to others is actually kind of wild. It almost looks like a completely different card. Next up, we have Muck from Fossil, PSA 9. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about it. He's a big old blob, and he's living his best life. He's waving hi, say hi back, and say goodbye because he's going in the stack. PSA 9 Muck. We have Crobat, Neo 3 Revelation, PSA 9. Kind of cool thinking about it now. And I actually think it's the same artist. I showed it in the last video. The Dark Crobat has the full moon in the background and then flying through. And this is the same artist, just the other one had some CGI to it. And this one is a like half moon and Crobat's flying by. Maybe not an original idea, but I like the vibes. Kind of cool. Next up, nice 10 here. We have Heracross from Neo 1 Genesis. Always loved Heracross. Playing Gold and Silver. I don't know. I think I want to say Heracross was in like Heracross was like either one of Ash's first Pokemon when this gen came out, or maybe it was like in one of the new movie releases or something. I don't remember, but it's definitely one of those as a kid where I was like, oh man, I need to have Heracross on my team. And then he's facing off against Pinsir here. About to have a duel. I like Pinsir too, but I definitely prefer Heracross. Next up, we have a base set Bulbasaur, PSA 8, except this is actually no rarity. So, yeah, this one I just had floating around in the box, and I kind of figured, well, it's no rarity. It's not going to be a 10, but I might as well send it in and see what it gets. And, yeah, PSA 8 is definitely worth grading something that's no rarity. So, yeah, not too upset about that. Not a huge fan myself, personally, of no rarity, but I mean, I get it. Like, you know, if you're a collector, I get it. Nice one here. Blaine's Charmander from Jim. PSA 10. Nice artwork. Nice Charmander. Nothing too crazy, but just a nice card. Blaine's Ninetales. This one not from Jim. This is from Blaine's deck. Gurren City Gym deck. And again, quickest way to tell that is no rarity symbol. So, yeah. Made it pretty easy for a lot of this stuff. Some of the stuff, not so much. I mean, it's definitely confusing with some of the Corocoro promos that have like a gym stamp, and then you're like, well, wait, like this isn't part of gym. Like, what is this? And if you're not like versed well in like this stuff, like me personally, not saying I'm an expert, but you know, I've scrolled through a card or two in my time. Like, it definitely makes it confusing for the average collector with some of this stuff, and they didn't do that with this, which is just nice. But yeah, Gurren City Gym deck, Blaine's Ninetales, nice artwork. Nice PSA 9. We have Scyther, Neo 2. I said at the beginning of this, that other Scyther, I believe these are like sub 20 pop and a PSA 10, which again, after all this time is kind of wild. But nice artwork, nice card. Do a little zoom in. He's cutting through the grass. Looks like he's ready to kill. He's coming for you. Dream about this tonight. Be afraid. I'm sorry. I had to do it. Next up, we have Coughing, Vending Series 2. Yeah, this is what is this for? Komiya. Yeah, this is for Komiya. I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously you got the coughing, but he's just like floating through the lab. You have never really paid attention, but you got this guy, and he's kind of like, oh my god, who let the coughing in here? And then I don't know what these are, artifacts. I don't know like why the coughing's in the lab to begin with. I mean, I guess that's why this guy's so upset about it. But that's actually funny. I really actually swear I never noticed this guy before. I think he, from a distance, like, well, from a distance, it like this, it just kind of blends in. See, that's why I like doing these videos, because I zoom in on this stuff and I see things I've never seen before. And seeing this Simpsons-esque looking character holding his nose, really pissed off at this coughing, is all worth it to me. Also, this coughing's, it's a little off, like, and it is Komiya, but like his eyes are like super wide apart and his mouth's all weird. I don't know. Just I don't know. This is a great card. Great 10. Fantastic Vending Series card. And right behind it, not quite as impressive. This is, oh, okay, this is Kinabuchi, so that's kind of cool. I didn't really actually know that. Weezing, Vending Series 3, PSA 8. And not really the greatest artwork, but I do like the fact that it's a Kinabuchi. It's kind of cool. But, yeah. Not as cool as the coughing, though. Next up, we have the Growlithe. This is another Komiya artwork. I'm not sure if this was in the first half of this sub that I showed the Vending Series one, or if it was in this half. I think it was in the first half. But yeah, it's another Komiya artwork. Red-green gift set, non-glossy version, no rarity symbol. Yeah, nice card. Komiya definitely has an interesting style from early days as opposed to now, for sure. I like both, but definitely a difference for sure. We have the Arcanine CD promo, PSA 10. There's also a version of this that is, there was a Toyota, like the actual vehicle Toyota campaign. There's also a Pikachu. The Pikachu, you can, I believe, tell the difference. Yeah. But the Arcanine, you can't, just because it looks exactly the same. There's nothing different about this one in the CD promo. I think the only way you definitively be able to say, hey, this is the Toyota campaign Arcanine, is if it actually came from the, like, you actually had the pamphlet or however it was actually given out. Which is kind of a shame. We have another PSA 10 here, Dark Arbok from Rocket, PSA 10. This was always kind of one of those like throwaway vibe ones where people were like, dark. It's like Dark Golbat and Dark Arbok in the set, and you were kind of upset if you pulled either of those, but still a nice card. I don't know. It's got like an orb on his head, so it kind of like emphasizes a nice little swirl to his right. Kind of looks cool. Next up, we have Moltres, definitely a favorite from Fossil. PSA 9. This gives me like immediate vibes of being a kid opening fossil packs, pulling this card. I remember like I pulled this and I was like ecstatic because it just looked so cool at the time. I can't remember exactly where I was, but like I said, just sitting here thinking like, or looking at this card and thinking about it, I just get such a good vibe from childhood for sure. Nice PSA 9, nice card. Next up, we have another Vending Series here. We have Vending Series 2 Venomoth. PSA 9. Yeah, I mean, Venomoth's just cruising through using, like, maybe Sleep Powder, maybe Stun Spore. It's just an radar work. Nothing crazy about this one. I do really love Vending, but I will say there are definitely some boring Vending cards, and that I would think's one of them, as well as this one. We have Parasect, Vending Series 1. Yeah, I mean, it's Parasect. He's just basically saying, hey, here I am, what's up, and here I go. Next up, another no rarity card. This one didn't fare quite as well as the Bulbasaur, but again, it was in the stack. I figured might as well just send it in, and at $15, it was worth getting it encapsulated and authenticated. But yeah, no rarity Ivysaur. Yeah, no rarity symbol. It's just, it's that. I like this Ivysaur. I think Ivysaur doesn't get enough love. I think middle evolutions in general and stage 2s do not get enough love. We have Ladybug, Southern Islands. Yeah, reverse foil style, PSA 9. These are tough grades. This one looks pretty good. Just looks like maybe it was a little off center. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever actually graded a holo from Southern Islands in a 10, which is kind of wild when you think about it. But yeah, Nice card, kind of goofy looking, but yeah, still cool. We have Jump Bluff, Neo 3. That's actually wrong. This should be Neo, just Neo. I don't know why it says Neo 3. Oh, I know why. There's a Neo 3 Revelation Jump Bluff. This is wrong. Wrong. I guess it was me that probably put it in like that. Probably rushing through a sub and put it in wrong. Huh. Do I crack it or sell it like this? Obviously, if I sell it, I'll inform the person. I'll probably just sell it like this just because this isn't really an expensive card. And to crack it and regrade it and have $30 integrating a Jump Bluff and maybe not get $30 out of it probably isn't worth it. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't make mistakes like that too often, but shame on me. Next up, we have Typhlosion from this time Neo 1. And if you weren't aware, there is a corrected version and an error version. And believe it or not, the error version is actually the less or the more common version, while the corrected version, which was done after the error was discovered, is the rarer version. It's pretty simple. Just if it's the error version, doesn't have the plus symbol. If it's corrected, has the plus symbol. But you gotta imagine like the reason that they corrected this, that would have made a big difference. I don't remember what this attack does, but 60 is a lot different than 60 plus whatever this effect is saying. So you know that made a big difference for sure. But yeah, nice card. Was hoping for a 9 at least on this one, but still in an 8, it's still worth grading this, the corrected version, just because it's so tough to get. Next up, nice 10 here. I like the color on this one. I like this Wobbuffet from Neo 2 Discovery. Do this artwork. Yoshida. I always thought this was funny. Like, maybe I'm missing something, but what's this worm guy? I think I might have talked about this in a submission at one point. Maybe even when I submitted this card, we're like, what's he doing? Like, what's that all about? And why is Wobbuffet's tail afraid of the worm? I don't know. I don't know what this is all about. I wish I knew. Maybe it's some secret thing that Yoshida knows and I don't. Maybe if Yoshida would ever sign, you get them to, comment on that. But I always thought that was weird. The little worm guy just hanging out. Next up, we have Jolteon from Jungle, PSA 9, fantastic card, and this one also throws some nostalgia back for me because I got in trouble for trading. This was the last card, I think I was in 4th grade, I want to say, and I needed this to finish my Jungle set. I know it's wild, I know it's going to sound crazy, like some 4th grade kid was completing sets, but that's what I did back then. That's how my dad got me into that kind of thing with sports cards, and that's what I did with Pokemon cards. I had complete sets of probably everything up until like E-Series at one point. But yeah, I digress from the original topic, which was I got in trouble in class because this is the last card I needed, and the kid that I was trading with, like, we couldn't come to a deal. And then finally we worked it out, and yeah, I traded him. I don't remember what, but I traded him an extra basically and got this and completed my Jungle set. I was pretty pumped. So I always kind of have that memory with this. Now that all of you have clicked off because you don't care about my sentimentality, we have PSA 10 Neo 2 Tyranitar Hollow. Yeah, I love this one. Yeah, I said it about the dark one and I can't like unsee it. I just get these weird like Kool-Aid Man vibes from the markings on his chest. I don't know what it is. I like, you have the eyebrows and the eyes, and then it's just like, oh yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot for thinking that, and yeah, I'm sure maybe someone will say in the comments, but like, I just can't unsee it. I just think Kool-Aid Man every time I see a Tyranitar now. I don't know. It's kind of wild. Next up, we have Neo 2 again, Discovery, Houndour. Always loved this card. I remember pulling this when I was younger and thinking, like, why is this hollow? Like, this is, like, the first evolution. Like, Houndoom should be the hollow one. This is kind of weird. And then, like, I don't know what the reasoning behind giving Houndour a hollow one this was, but I like it. I think it looks fantastic. I think this is a great artwork. I would have to assume this is Kasube. Yeah, Kasube, and the biggest giveaway with Kasube artwork, as usual, is line work. If you see line work like this, it's Kasube. Fantastic. Maybe I'll do a Kasube binder. I don't know if Kasube has any insane, like, expensive cards that would make it not Like, if it's obviously like Kasube did like some trophy card or something, I'm probably not going to do it then. But I think that that might be a thing. Maybe I'll do a Kasube binder. We have Moltres, Vending Series 2, PSA 8. If that's on the card. Uh-oh. I can't tell here. Let me see. Nah, I think it's the case. Yeah. I think so. Well, they have been more lenient on dents and stuff lately, which personally I agree with. In my personal opinion, if you have a gem mint card and it has a minor indent somewhere or a nick or whatever, that's not a 6. That doesn't just get docked down to a 6. That makes no sense. That makes a 6 then that actually is a 6 look horrible compared to like what is basically a mint card with a minor visible defect. So to me, that makes sense. This is an 8. If it's flawless otherwise, has a little indent there, this is an 8. That makes sense to me. I'm glad they seem to be straying away from the automatic 6 thing with dents. And I mean, obviously if it's big enough, but then if that's the case, if it's mint and it's that way, then give it the qualifier, give it the MK, give it the marked qualifier. I just, like I said, that drives me bonkers when you have a flawless card with a minor visible imperfection that somehow takes it from being a 10 down to a 6 instead of giving it an 8 or a 9. So a little bit of a ramble there, a little bit of a tangent, but that's my personal feeling on how dents and little things like that should be treated. Moving on, we have Ponyta, Vending Series 3, nice PSA 10 on this one. Anytime you can grade a old back or even more so a Vending Series card in a 10, definitely a win. Would have liked one of the other ones maybe. Probably like this next one here more so in a 10. But always really like this. This has like really big Snap vibes to me. Like Pokemon Snap the game. I don't know what it is about it. But just that's a vibe I get when I see this. Who did this? Oh, this is actually Nishida. It's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like a Nishida to me. But nice PSA 8. Nice card. Man, we're creeping up on 30 minutes. I didn't think I was going to make this one longer than the last one, but somehow here we are. We have Magmar, red-green gift set, PSA 9. Yeah, nice card. I kind of like the non-glossy version of this more than I do the glossy Vending series. It actually makes it look nicer. The red seems more vibrant. Nice PSA 10 here. We have Blaine's Charmander. This is the Gurren City Gym Deck version. No rarity symbol. The easiest way to tell. Yeah, I don't know. Nice artwork. Nice card. No complaints. Nice 10. Another 10. Man, got some 10s here at the end. This is the Entei from the Neo 3 premium file. PSA 10. I was never a big fan of this, the Raikou and the Suicune from this file. I guess it's just because, in my opinion, the Revelation, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, the actual holos look so much better. But they're still nice cards. It's kind of cool that they got like a little bit of a promo treatment on this as well. But would have been cool if these got a holo as well. Another nice 10 here. You never complain when you get a base set PSA 10. You have Ninetales. Do a little zoom in on Ninetales. I think it deserves it. Fantastic card. Call this like mid-tier for base set as far as the way I look at artwork, but definitely a really nice card. And again, thankful for a 10 on that. Another Ninetales. We have Brock's Ninetales. PSA 9 from Jim. This one, I don't know. Who did this? That was just Sugimori. I don't know. It's nice, but like, it's like the background was kind of wasted in this. They could have done more. But I guess we'll back. They really didn't do a whole lot with backgrounds anyway. Next up, we have Hitmontop, 2000 movie promo, glossy. Pretty common card. You see this card pretty much all the time. Definitely not rare in the slightest, but it's still a cool card. Hitmontop was another one of my favorites from Neo 3. Or Neo 3. Yeah, Gen 2. In general, I think Gen 2 definitely stacks up there on my top list as far as generations. It would at least probably be top 3. We have Yanma. This is the last of this one. Good way to finish it off in PSA 10. If this was English, maybe it's, I don't know if it's unlimited or if it's just first edition or if it's both that are super low pop. But I know like what, a first edition one of these sold for like 10K, I think, at some point. I would doubt that it's there now, but I don't know. But yeah, you can have this Yama for the low cost. I think these are going for like $100 to $150 on the 10, which is just wild to me. I would personally rather have this one, not just because of the price, but just because it's Japanese. But when you see the price point, you're like, yeah, I'll take the Japanese PSA 10 Yanma over the 10K first edition one. Just think of all the other stuff you could buy too. But just my personal opinion on that. I know there's a lot of people out there completing stuff. A lot of people have a lot more money than me, and they're high rolling on this, you know, PSA 10 only, completing all the sets. More power to you if you can do that, but just not really my jam. Even if I had the money, it wouldn't be my jam. But hey guys, that wraps it up for part 2 here. Again, really good sub overall, can't complain. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, or don't, but either way, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, I appreciate you.